51552 3530. Okay. May God protect all of us who are doing our very best to prevent medical fascism from taking hold globally. May God guide my way and my words. I hope I can speak with Toni Farber, and I'm now live trying to find out what happened to Ingrid Hödl, who 2 days ago spoke at a demonstration regarding the lockdown restrictions, the mask restrictions. And I spoke at the very same rally. And Ingrid was kind enough to invite everybody to a cafe. She bought everybody the first round of drinks. She bought me a coffee on Sunday, like exactly 48 hours ago. So I'm going to try to call the priest, who apparently instructed her to wear a mask. And she, as far as I understand it, she just didn't say anything. This is what I'm understanding that happened. And then the priest tried to force her to wear a mask. And this is just from what I've heard. Apparently there is a video, and that video has been taken down, which is also flabbergasting. The video was taken down of the interchange. Ingrid apparently was videoing the whole thing. And the priest, Toni Farber, literally called the police on a worshiper who wanted to worship without, is my audio going through? I'm checking, yes. She wanted to worship without a mask. She wanted to be unashamed at the Church of St. Stephen's in Vienna. She wanted to be unashamed in the eyes of God and to pray and to be at Mass. Well, I mean, if you're going to be wearing, you got to take your mask off to take communion, don't you? So what is this, kind of a very smart virus or something? So apparently she wanted to worship God without a mask. And Toni Farber called the police. She was violently removed. She has bruises. And she was injected with psychotropic, some kind of drugs. Some people went to go visit her in the psych ward. She's in a psych ward. Okay? Ingrid Hödl was violently arrested in Vienna, Austria, and was placed into a psych ward for attending Mass. I'm going to sneeze. Police meeting for attending Mass at the Church of St. Stephen's, at St. Stephen's Cathedral in the heart of Vienna, Austria. Because Toni Farber called the police. So I've written a letter. I'm going to try to call. Maybe I should read my letter. I can show you my letter. I've called for the immediate laicization of Toni Farber, which would mean him being deposed as a priest. Dear followers of Christ, Psalm 140. Rescue me, Lord, from evildoers. Protect me from the violent. In this case, the police were violent. Father, no longer Father Farber, was violent. Du musst die Anfragen annehmen, sonst kommt, ja, fine. Rescue me, Lord, from evildoers. Protect me from the violent, who devise evil plans in their hearts and stir up war every day. They make their tongues as sharp as serpents. The poison of vipers is on their lips. Now, then I have a link to the video where you can see her. I mean, we can go. I can maybe quickly fast forward. My idea now is to just call. So here she is. She doesn't even have a blanket on her. She's just like, so she's so out of it. That's the dress that she was wearing at the protest. They probably didn't want to show her because maybe they thought that she'd be embarrassed. You know, it wasn't really very polite to show a lady. Like, she didn't even have the strength to put a blanket over herself. And then at one point she's, you know, she's in the hospital. She's in a psych ward for attending mass without a mask. I think it was Saturday, the 16th. I was at Obersanktfight. I think I even did a live. I'm getting a call. It's regarding this matter, but I can't. I actually am gonna write. Bin der Zeit live. Mache live Sendung. All right. Maybe I can send her the link to my current live. So here we are. There's Ingrid. This is me. And let me reload. I'm going to reload and see if my live is here. There's my live. And I'm going to send it. Okay. So, moving along. You just saw her. She's in the hospital. Now, we don't know, like, did she scream in the church? I mean, did she make a big scene? The way I understand it, the priest told her, and I'm going to have to put some ice under the computer. Okay, thanks for those thumbs up. Thanks to whoever's watching. Definitely press hearts, share this video. Make sure that I have your name, email address, and phone number. If Facebook does a lockdown, then this communication channel will be cut off. Okay, I'm going to continue reading my letter to both Toni Farber. I just sent this, and I also sent it to the Vatican. I can tell I'm the son of a pastor. My dad was a biblical scholar. I always had sort of a skeptical view because my actually grandfather was an evangelical pastor here in Vienna and in Yugoslavia. And I had a bit of a skeptical view of the Catholic Church. But when I came to Vienna, I mean, what an unbelievably heartfelt community. Like, I felt almost drawn to convert, but then I thought, you know what? I really am going to stay with my faith. And I was so accepted among the Catholic monks and the Catholic nuns. Anyway, I've really had a wonderful experience with the Catholic Church here in Vienna, Austria. I really mean it. They have stuff for families. They, you like, a lot of times when you donate in church in the United States, it's like for, families super far away, and it's like there's nothing, you're like giving away money and it's going somewhere to some strange land, and I guess you kind of feel good and you meet with people. But the Catholic Church in Austria, they have schools, they have facilities, they have events, there's like actual stuff besides just, going to church on Sunday and giving your money to some strange land. Anyway, I'm going to read this. My faith moves me in my heart to defrock Toni Farber. While I understand that you have your proper procedures, the Catholic Church has been a bastion of safety and support for me ever since I moved to Vienna. I am the son of an evangelical pastor and biblical scholar, and it is not in my calling to convert, but I do have great affection and gratitude for the good works of the Catholic Church globally, and for many years I attended the Vienna English-speaking Catholic community in Vienna and sang in the choir, seeking spiritual guidance from the good and kind Father Kevin and Deacon Greg. There's a link on defrocking, what it means to defrock, and why and when you defrock. Toni Farber apparently told Ingrid Hödl to put on a mask to worship God. Which God does Toni Farber serve? I require him to respond. So, no longer Father Farber, because I'm not going to call you Father Farber, Mr. Farber. Which God do you serve? Do you serve the God of the land? Do you serve Sebastian Kurz over Jesus Christ? Could that be? Will Toni Farber now be standing at the door of the house of God requiring vaccine IDs? Here's Revelation. Also, it causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or on the forehead. How close is the mouth? So that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark. That is the name of the beast or the number of its name. How far away is the mask from the mark of the beast? Oh no, that's for a virus. Yeah, it's for a virus, where 99.5% of the infected experience mild to no symptoms, according to Sucharit Bhakti and hundreds of other scientists and doctors who are screaming from the rooftops saying this is not the plague. If Toni Farber requires that the faithful wear masks to worship God, then the answer is yes, he will require the mark of the beast. And with this letter, I expose him and deem him exposed and his actions wicked. Sorry, man. We have every chance to repent, but to call the police on the lady that bought me a coffee a few hours before, blonde and sunny, I don't know, Toni. Haven't seen the video of the actual event because it was pulled down. Why would that video be pulled down? Does it incriminate the cops and the church? Yes, Toni, you'll ultimately be judged by God, but it's our duty as faithful servants to protect all of God's children from wickedness, especially if that wickedness has infected a priest or a pastor. I'm actually going to say, Toni, you shouldn't have called the police. Also, du hättest du, nicht sie. Ich bin dann auch für dich ein Du. Du hättest die Polizei nicht rufen sollen. Die Polizei hat Frau Hödl mit Gewalt zur Psychiatrie gebracht und sie mit irgendwelchen Mitteln injiziert. So spinnst du, Toni. Du hast in dieser Hinsicht keine Kraft. Null. Ja? Bis du antwortest, sollen die Sesseln, sind alle halb leer. Es kommt kaum jemand zur Kirche mehr. Das soll Leute motivieren, zur Messe zu gehen? Ich wollte ohne Maske die Kirche in Obersanktweit betreten und alleine einfach meine Zeit im Gebet mit dem lieben Gott verbringen. Und das ist mir verborgen, das darf ich nicht, weil ich keine Maske tragen mag? In front of the eyes of God, are you serious? I can't set foot in a church to pray without a mask? Can no one feel safe to worship God without donning a mask, the precursor to the mark of the beast? Even if the COVID-19 virus were dangerous, the servants of God are required to help, to tend to the sick and the ailing, and to ensure that their passing into the next life is blessed. Are priests now performing last rites in masks? Is that what's happening? Thanks for the thumbs up. We know that 99.5% of those infected with COVID-19 will experience mild to no symptoms. Professor Suharit Bhakti and his now newly gründed Verein, and that children are entirely spared. Yet the church allows a priest to force a churchgoer to put on a mask in front of God, and then calls the earthly police if the churchgoer does not comply. I'm about to call you, Toni. I've got your number here. I'm going to call you while we're on live. Maybe Frau Hödl has faith in God. Maybe she does not want to wear a mask. Maybe she's read about just how dangerous those masks are to health. Maybe Frau Hödl knows that the mask requirements, that they weaken the immunity of the mask wearers. I did a not perfect sentence there. That the mask requirement, that weakens the immunity of the mask wearers, increases their chance of infection, causes hypoxia and hypercapnia, and makes wearers breathe in the fumes of their own festering saliva and mucus for hours on end. Maybe Frau Hödl knows that, and she doesn't want to jeopardize her health. Why would the Catholic Church require that churchgoers harm their health? Is it your calling to force churchgoers to harm their health? Why would Toni not place God first instead of the illegal orders coming from Sebastian Kurz? Please ask at your next service for the people to raise their hands. Who likes these masks? Who feels good while wearing one, and who does not? Who wants to take the mask off so they can breathe? I wanted to go pray at the church in Obersundfight, but I would not enter because I saw that everyone that was in there, they were wearing masks as if they were some kind of criminals, as if they were ashamed of themselves. I asked an elderly woman if there had been a mask requirement at the service as she was coming out, and she said yes. And she was a delightful elderly lady. I asked her how she felt about the mask, and she said she doesn't like them. I told her it makes the wearers breathe in festering mucus and saliva, and she said, yeah, that's how I feel anyway. I never liked them. I don't like these things. She's like, I just did this to comply with the law. And then she laughed, and she took her mask, she kind of twirled it, and she said, it was hilarious. She takes this mask, she's twirling it, and she's like, what do I need this thing for? I'm 80. It was hilarious. She's 80. She's thankful for every breath that she's allowed to take. Spend some time with her grandkids. Have a wine. She's 80. She has to wear a mask? Why? She's 80. She's happy if she makes it to 84. Can you imagine how fun being 80 is going to be? I'm gonna smoke a cigar. It's going to be fantastic if I make it that far. I can't wait to be 80. Hey, don't smoke a cigar. It's bad for your health. I'm 80. What are you talking about? That sounds like it's a mask to go to church. What are you talking about? She's 80. She's twirling her little mask. She's had her life. She's got her kids. She's happy too. All right. And she's right. I mean, what if the elderly start having problems during the services and wish to be able to breathe for their own health? Is it okay that people who need to breathe without masks get violently apprehended by the police and injected with unknown psychological drugs and locked in mental facilities? And worse, because a priest called the police? I call for the immediate deposition of Toni Farber. I didn't see the video. I'm going on faith right now. I'm allowing myself to be called by the divine to guide my words and to guide my actions. We'll see. Maybe that video is now some kind of police evidence and we're not allowed to see it. Really? Too ashamed to show what happened? Did Frau Hödl start yelling? You know, even if you have a crazy person in church, you know, violently have them violently apprehended? I don't know. I don't know, Toni. I don't know. I've not seen the video of the event in the church, and I would like to. Toni Farber may say that Ingrid misbehaved or didn't obey. But isn't it Toni who who must obey and serve the God, and not Ingrid who must obey Toni's commands, especially if Toni has fallen prey to a false god. And yeah, I'm going to say making people wear masks in church, that's a false god. You can't undo that. You can't godify this scenario. You can't do it. I mean, we have a common cold virus that, of course, some elderly and immune compromised can't survive. They've held their own as long as they could on this earth, and then they didn't have the strength to continue. That happens. Mask wearing in church, in front of God, you have to be ashamed of yourself. Toni, you made a mistake, okay? Please let me know what further steps the church may need to complete this deposition process and to investigate the incident. Ideally, Toni would not be allowed to preach, and his contact with children and other churchgoers would be halted until Toni can be helped. I'm going with what I'm moved to say. Of course, Toni, also du kommst natürlich auch zu Wort, aber du bist verantwortlich für das, was geschehen ist. Also Frau Hödl liegt in der Psychiatrie. It's unreal. Einige Stunden nachdem sie mir einen Kaffee gekauft hat und 40 anderen lieben, netten Menschen. Even the constitution of the law of the land, sogar wenn man die Verfassung nimmt, ja, that protects the freedom to worship. Da ist die Ausübung der eigenen Religion gesichert. Sogar in the law of the land. Und kein Mann, no man can require a mask or a hat or a hair covering. But even though such coverings and dress codes are used in specific religions, some religions have hats and have beanies and have hair and have coverings for the women. Right? That can be the code of a religion, can it not? Why does Toni enforce the code of the law of the land instead of the law of the Catholic Church? Where in the Bible is there a mask requirement to worship? Certain fractions, yes. There are the brothers in God, the monks, they have uniforms. They have attire. Pastors and preachers and priests, they have attire. Churchgoers. Christina is writing, the mask is the precursor to the mark of the beast. This is absolutely the truth. Thank you very much. I'm live. To good protect. Hello?
Hi, live.
There.
I wanted to ask, can I have a laptop?
Or maybe
I can use the used laptop and we can fix like the charger.
Yeah, it sounds like
That
a
would
good
be
idea,
cool.
fixing the charger, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Bet šobrīd es esmu live, un tu mēs
Okay.
parunāsimies, mēs par to parunāsimies
Hi, live.
vēlāk.
Bye, live.
Thanks, Christina. I like it because your name is Christina Salmi Binger, and it looks like Christina Salami Burger. And I don't eat salami anymore because I'm vegan now and I don't eat burgers. But it says Christina Salami Burger. I like that. I hope that doesn't make you feel bad because it says Salmi Binger. I think it says, I like to read it and it says Christina. Yeah, Christina. I like that it says, are you happy about it? Are you crying or are you laughing? I can't tell. It's like this small. I don't know. I need like a magnifying glass to see if you're laughing or crying. Christina Salami Burger. I like it. Vegan salami with a vegan burger. Actually, I never thought of that. Funny, okay. They have a bagel salami. It's a vegan. That's at a Basic Bio auf der Meidling Hauptstraße, U4 Station. It's really good. I really like it. It's like a salami bagel. Salami bagel, salami binger. All right, let's keep going. Toni Farber placed himself and his command above the command of God, and for that, he's deposed. Okay, that's my stance. My stance. He did not protect the worshippers in the church, which are sadly already so few. Something else came through. Oh, I'm sorry you were called salami a lot. But, you know, I mean, they called me Dinus the Minus. That really hurt my feelings. It really did. I was at like this meeting thing from work, and everybody was like sharing their like childhood traumas, and it was like, my name was Sabina and they called me the Beanie Weenie or something like that, and everybody goes, "Aww," and then somebody else was like, "Yeah, they called me, you know, John the Wiener or something." It was like, "Oh," and then I said, "Yeah, you know, they used to call me Dinus the Minus," and everybody laughed. And I was like, "Oh no!" And then they felt terrible because they laughed at the thing that they used to call me. Salami's your maiden name. Yeah. All right. Toni Farber did not protect the worshippers in the church, which are sadly already so few. No one will be able to feel safe going to church now if pastors and priests can command their congregations to wear masks, or these blue gloves maybe, or what's next, the plastic shoe coverings. The mask is already absurd enough, and it's already damaging enough. Do you want churchgoers to need to put on plastic shoe coverings in order to be allowed to go to church? And that's how they got to go into church now? How about requiring big old plastic gloves to be placed on the churchgoers' hands, or some globes maybe, right? We can get some kind of plastic globe like this thing. It'll be like plastic, right? It'll be a plastic globe. We'll put it on our heads, and it'll zap all the viruses. And Toni, I'll sell you 1,000 units at 4,000 a piece. It'll be like this globe thing, and it's gonna have this laser light. You know what I mean? Gotta have some Lucifer symbolism in there, don't we, Toni? It'll zap every once in a while. It'll zap viruses with the ultraviolet light or some kind of a light thing. Zap, little laser, zap, and put a globe over your head. This thing, mine will be purple. It'll be awesome. I'll be like this. My head will be in this thing, right? Because I've entered the church. You gonna go buy 1,000 of these? I'll sell them to you, Toni. They cost 4,000 euros a piece. You transfer 4 million to me, I will sell you 1,000 globes with laser lights to put onto the heads of the people that enter the Stephansdom. You cool with that? Cost 4,000 bucks. I'll have them done for you. They can have your face on them too, or maybe should we put somebody else's face on it? I'll sell them to you. They're 4,000 a piece. Minimum order of 1,000. And really, most importantly, are you going to require the mark of the beast for people to enter the church, because Toni Farber has clearly shown his allegiance by requiring the mask, hasn't he? Please let me know what further steps must be taken. Best Dinus W. Mickle, and I removed my address information because my email is here. But I removed my address information because it's not entirely safe. Okay? I'm gonna close that if it disappears. And so now I'm going live, and I'm going to try to call Toni. Ja, grüß Gott, könnte ich bitte mit Toni Farber sprechen? Ja, mein Name ist Dinus Michel.
Bitte?
Dinus Michel.
Dinus Michel?
Ja.
Und darf ich in welcher Angelegenheit?
Ja, also ich möchte herausfinden, was am Sonntag geschehen ist mit Frau Hödl. Ich bin sehr besorgt.
Mit wem? Was mit wem geschehen?
Was mit Frau Hödl geschehen ist, also anscheinend, nein, Frau Hödl. Ich mache derzeit eine Live-Sendung. Das bedeutet, ich mache eine Live-Sendung und ich möchte dem Herrn Farber fragen, was am Sonntag mit Frau Hödl geschehen ist. Also sie wurde abtransportiert in die Psychiatrie. Sie hat keine Maske getragen an der Messe am Sonntagabend. Und Herr Farber hat anscheinend die Polizei gerufen. Es sind Hunderte, vielleicht sogar Tausende Leute irre besorgt. Wie kann das sein? Und ich wollte, also jetzt, ich bin derzeit live, ja, und ich habe gedacht, am besten rufe ich ihn einfach an und frage, was doch geschehen ist. Im Internet bin ich derzeit live, die Sendung heißt The Diners.info TV Show. Mein Name ist Deines, ich bin der Host oder der Leiter dieser Sendung. Auch für meine Sicherheit, weil ich war ja auch an dieser Demonstration dabei. Ich habe auch gesprochen und dann sie hat alle einen Kaffee gekauft, wir sind alle zu einem, und dann ist sie zum Gebet zur Kirche gegangen. Ich wäre fast mitgekommen und anscheinend hat sie keine Maske tragen wollen und Herr Farber hat gemeint, sie muss die Maske tragen und dann hat die Polizei Frau Farber mit Gewalt abgeschleppt und in die Psychiatrie gebracht.
Ich muss ja nicht nach Ihrem Namen fragen, weil das ist nicht und ich kann Ihnen gerne einen Besuch anbieten. Herr Deiner?
Ja, mein Name ist Dora Anton Ida, Nordpol Ida Siegfried, das ist...
Anton Ida?
Ja,
Ja?
Nordpol Ida Siegfried.
Nordpol Ida
Deines. Ja, meine E-Mail-Adresse ist deines@deines.net.
Deines.net und Sie gestalten eine Sendung im Internet.
Richtig, und ich habe eigentlich gerade einfach durch Gebet und Meditation an Vatikan und an der Erzdiözese und am Toni selber eine Deposition geschickt. Das würde bedeuten eine Laicisierung, ich weiß nicht ganz genau, wie man das auf Deutsch ausspricht, aber so derartig Schaden einem gläubigen Mensch zuzufügen, ist unmöglich. Also man muss sicher zur Kirche gehen können, auch ohne Maske. Das ist mein Vorname, Deines. Mein Nachname ist Michel, M-I-C-H-E-L. Ja.
Deines Michel.
Ja.
Okay, ich kann nur jetzt zum Thema Anschluss wollte sagen, es gibt Bestimmungen von öffentlicher Seite, von der Regierungsseite.
Richtig.
Und an die muss sich natürlich die Kirche auch halten.
Nein.
Und
Historisch nicht und biblisch auch hier nicht.
da geht es um den Schutz auch der Leute, die so
Nein, die werden hier nicht geschützt. 99,5% der Infizierten.
unterschiedlicher Meinung und dieses Thema polarisiert. Und ich glaube, egal was wir jetzt miteinander besprechen, sozusagen, wir werden die Situation in der Hinsicht sicher nicht ändern können.
Man kann die Situation ändern.
Ich leite es gerne weiter und wir halten eine Rückmeldung. Vielen Dank, Herr Michael. Auf Wiederhören.
I guess I could have been a little bit more slick about getting through to him. But I also wanted to be clear that I was live. So let's see about the comments. Burviga Meta. Andra. Yesterday, upon entering a retail clothing shop, I was told to step on this rectangle sticky paper pad, presumably to remove COVID-19 germs from the bottom of my shoes. Andra. I'm getting a lot I didn't sleep very well, to be honest with you. I actually didn't sleep, right? Emmy woke up at like 6 something to make sandwiches for her. Yeah, I took a nap then afterwards. I didn't sleep because I got the video of, I mean, it's the first time I met Ingrid, right? I didn't know her, but she's like, okay, I'm taking everybody out to a cafe. I mean, let's look. This person. And apparently and look, there's gonna be a video, and she's all happy because oh goodness, she made herself Ingrid at Hödl 777. You know, I almost would have gone like here it goes. I was there. This is, I think, a bit later. I had already left. Hit play. She gets to know everybody. And I was sitting back there. I'd already left. So I'd already left at this time, and that maybe she posted. There's the demonstration that we were at. I was sitting with her. I was sitting with her at the table. Is she gonna have a video of me? Everybody's talking. You know, the police were fantastic, right? Everybody got a chance to talk. Like really, everybody felt really, really good. It was a very. She's saying she's feeling excited. I spoke right at the end. We all. That's her. That's somewhere else. So that's at the canal. Okay, so she spent her whole day in activism, and then she went to church to pray. I guess I'm not finding myself, because she asked me also there. I'd already left. Okay, so if I'm not, or maybe I just arrived? No, I'd left already. And now, I mean, this is her. She's in the bed of a psych ward. Apparently, that's her. Sorry, Ingrid, that we're showing you like this online. Totally out of it. She couldn't talk. That's the dress that she was wearing at the cafe. There's some people that tried to get information from her, and then the police staff, and then the hospital staff drove her out of the hospital. Okay. So, from my vantage point, everybody, I don't feel safe. And I can't believe that I'm getting made fun of for calling this medical fascism. Okay? I'm not going to call you out by name, but next time I will. You make fun of me again, I'm going to call you out by name. Okay? You don't think this is medical fascism? Really? Gotta stand on some kind of rectangle? Gonna have your temperature monitored? What do we know about temperature, everybody? I have a significantly lower average body temperature than most people, and I also think that my temperature goes super high, and I'm not sick at all. But my average body temperature is super low. My heart rate is super low. What are they gonna say? Dude, man, my heart rate's low. Like low, like I don't know, 40, and like it just, you know, boom. Now I'm a little excited. It got boom, 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 boom. It's just gonna go down. If I measure my pulse, it's like boom. Yeah, I can wait sometimes for my heart. It's like boom, like boom. Like, okay, what are they gonna do? Like it's because and it's health. It's health is what it is. I don't have some weird racing heart. I got a chill heart. Is what I have. I like my heart. It's like boom, boom, boom. Like, okay, awesome. Her breast is like boom, 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 boom. All right, man. Mine's like boom, boom. Cool. And when I get sick, man, my temperature goes up. It goes 6 hours. I like my immune system. It's fun. It's fun to experience. So I don't think we know enough about the immune system to be like tracking people's temperature with drones. And you know what's neat? To be honest with you, like if we were living in a loving society and like people weren't dragged off to psych wards, I'd probably be like, all right, cool, man, measure my temperature. Let's learn more about how humanity works. It'll be anonymized. People playing volleyball, how their temperature works. They're pretty cool information. Like maybe you could do particular kinds of experiments, and it would be really fun to find out more about our physiology and how our physiology works. But not if you're above a specific temperature. You're not allowed to get on the bus or enter a restaurant and they put this weird temperature gun to your head. Put no temperature gun to my head. Are you kidding me? Anybody supporting these lockdown measures, mask measures, you're supporting medical fascism. The mask is a precursor. What comes after the mask? Testing requirements. After the mask and testing requirements, temperature requirements, another test requirement, infection requirements. What comes after that? An ID and tracking apps that they're... 2 years ago, if somebody said that there would be tracking apps, that would be the most maniacal conspiracy theorist possible. May as well get all your tinfoil and stick it on your head. If somebody were to describe what's happening right now, fall of 2019, the person would be considered completely crazy. So I've got to get myself prayered up, I guess. Prayered up. We were at the same demonstration. She's in a psych ward now. She got injected for being at a church service without a mask. In a church. In a church. Where do you think she was supposed to feel safe? Where else do we find safety and love and consideration? I'm sure lepers fled to the church. The scared, the diseased, the weak, the oppressed ran to the church. So, back to Mr. Farber. I depose you. I call for the immediate laicization of Toni Farber. I'm sure the church has its own methods of doing so, but that's what I call for. You want to apologize? Explain yourself? Sure. How much percentage chance do I think that this is going to go through? 1%. Who am I? Spectator. You going to care about me and my thoughts? I'm certainly not going to go to the Stephansdom. I truly, the noon service at Stephansdom, that was amazing. And this guy, Schönborn, was there. Not him. This guy. He hasn't been afraid to be political. The noon service along, I don't know who that priest was, I don't know his name, I used to know his name. He was never afraid to be political. I used to really like going to those services. So, Kardinal Schönborn, also Sie haben was zu erledigen. Und das muss besprochen werden. Can't be that the church is going to require the law of the land. If it were a plague, you'd have an argument. If it were, wenn es die Pest wäre, hätten Sie vielleicht ein Argument. Es ist Covid-19. So, ich verlange eine Aussage von der Kirche, I'm requiring a response from the church. And I'm going to end this live with a prayer. So, dear God, may you protect us from medical fascism. With the things happening, there could be significant violence and loss of life. Watching a bright, lovely worshiper come to you to worship God at St. Stephen's Cathedral, finding out that for her not wearing a mask in front of God, for her to be violently apprehended, not charged, and placed into a psychological facility, hospital, is horrifying. Please protect me and my family from harm. Know that I don't want to go to the other side. I don't want to die. I don't want to be killed, and I don't want to go to a psych ward. So protect me and my family. Fill our needs, fill the needs of those who are listening. Let them stand up to things that are currently minorly wrong. Because of course, just put on a mask is temptation. It's just such a small thing. But we know that dark forces, you give them an inch and they take a mile. Dear Lord, we don't give them that mile. We do not want to descend so deeply into medical fascism that we have to shoot our way out of it. We want this event to fizzle, just to fizzle out. Fizzle. Just to fizzle out. Like a soda or a carbonated beverage that you left out too long. A little fizzle, and then it's flat. And then no one wants to drink it anyway. So you just throw it, just lay it in Einland, you just pour it out into the sink and it's gone. May medical fascism just fizzle out and not take any further hold. May the lockdown measures and mask requirements be lifted. May us and help us return to a healthy normal instead of this odd, controlled, dysfunctional, new, abnormal that apparently is well financed and that many are going along with. May the police face charges who are violently apprehending those who are simply exercising their rights of movement, rights of assembly, and right to breathe. Breathe without the hindrance of a mask. Even that, give an inch and they take a mile. Even that inch is too far. Give us strength to not wear masks and to not face any negative consequences for simply breathing freely without a mask in public when we go eat and shop and gather and go about our daily lives and our daily tasks. Be with us now in this challenging time. Protect each and every one of us and our families. Help us do the right thing, and help us do the right thing wisely. I don't want to go to a psych ward, so I'm going to pray that not only do I not wear a mask, but I also don't get apprehended. I don't get thrown into a psych ward. Protect me and protect the people listening. protect us from essentially the experience of being nailed to the cross. Ingrid, apparently, she was nailed to the cross. She's injected, completely out of it, unable to even answer simple questions, unable to cover herself with a blanket. Dear God, bring us through. Let us walk through this valley of the shadow of death, and let us walk through that valley in peace. With Jesus, which means with truth, with love, with friendship, with companionship. Call it what you may, from Krishna to Allah, to Vishnu, to anarchy, to atheism. As long as that Jesus that is truth, as long as that anarchy that is freedom, as long as that Buddhist that is friendly, that is about friendship, that is about kindness, that is about goodness, that is about sharing, that is about life, that is about protection, that is about happy playing children. Playing together in their playlots, they're being told to wear masks and socially distance God. They're being told not to touch each other because they're being told to consider themselves infectious, disgusting beings that harm each other and hurt each other, and they are life and love and brightness and joy. How dare a team of doctors and scientists come and demean our children and call them anything but the bearers and bringers of light and love and friendship and joy. Have they spent any time with children? They walk into the room, the whole room lights up with joy. And each and every one of us has that capacity as well. So with Jesus, the Jesus of love and light and kindness and acceptance and tolerance of other religions and sane religions, as our leader, with truth, companionship, and love as our leader, we shall walk through the valley in peace. Guide us, dear Lord, so that that may be the case today and forevermore, for our children and their children, for our grandchildren and theirs. We are here to make a loving space for future generations, a loving, safe space. And may we hold our medical practitioners to account and tell them that it's not good enough to force us to lock down into our homes and to shelter in place. That service isn't good enough. If you're our soldiers and we're at war, you're not doing your job well enough. We demand from the medical institutions the ability to walk around and be free and to breathe freely, and to not infect each other without masks. And there are hundreds and even thousands of doctors and scientists saying, look, all you got to do is this treatment or that treatment. I'm not sure if I want to mention them now. But there's vitamin C and there's oxygen therapy and there are other therapies as well that come from within. That keep us perfectly safe and able to function normally in society. So with that, we demand more. We demand more from the law and from the government. We demand more from the church because, Toni, the answer's no. Also nein. Sie rufen die Polizei nicht. Wenn Leute ihre Zeit mit Gott verbringen wollen, ohne Maske. Sie tragen ja auch nicht derzeit eine Maske, oder? Während sie auf mich zuhören. Sie atmen frei und holen die frische Luft als Gottes Geschenk. Auch an sie. Dear God, protect us, be with us. We shall walk through the valley of the shadow of death. We shall walk through the valley in peace. and with truth, love, and compassion as our leader, we shall walk through the valley in peace. Amen.